Let me just go ahead and go over some of the news and information we have. I'm going to cover this as quickly as possible, and then I'm going to leave because I want you to be able to go over all the news and information that you've got to cover. There's this FEMA National Levels Exercise 2009. Now, they have these top-offs every year, and I get conditioned that when I hear and see one of these going on, I end up not reading the hundreds of pages of documents. I had callers today live on air in office saying, you got to look at this, Alex. And then I learned you had covered this last night. You came into the office at about noon. You said, no, I covered it last night. Here it is. Mm-hmm. I've had a chance to read it. Very cryptic. We're going to go over that. Then I've got a few climate cop articles. EU closes climate loophole for car air conditioners. You can't have car air conditioners. They're banning space heaters outside. They're banning heaters in the home. They're banning fireplaces. Major states in the U.S. aren't permitting fireplaces in the home. Now, I remember reading a decade ago or more that the Department of Health, the Department of Education, the Department of Agriculture, of all people, said you're going to have a national ID card with a sales tax. We're going to track everything you eat and what you do, and you will be taxed off of your carbon footprint. This is all old news. That's how I knew all this. And, you said you heard me talking about it, 5 years ago or whatever.
More than that. I mean.
Yeah. So, but here it is, because I'm just reading off what they say they're going to do. It's not.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
And it has nothing to do with the environment, by the way. I mean, they got all these real environmental problems going on that they're just ignoring. Look at this one. The Sun reporting. This is all over the news. Reuters reports it too. Fatties cause global warming. And so, just like we're going to tax cows and chickens and goats and sheep and pigs' flatulence, we're going to tax the fatties for their more carbon dioxide and for their more methane, their farting.
And last week, United decided that they were going to charge fat people double. They have to buy 2 seats now. If you're over a certain weight, you now have to buy 2 seats on United Airlines.
And that's because they first made all the seats smaller.
Yeah.
And see, people think, oh, I go to McDonald's and I buy McDonald's and I throw my own trash away, I get a discount. No, they just keep the prices the same. You sit at a dirty table. Just like 50 years ago, everything was service. And they said, oh, we'll give you self-serve. Then, oh, well, you can't get service. And it's proven that people don't keep the air in their tires, don't take care of it. It's dumbing down service. It's getting rid of service. You don't. And yes, we are self-propelled stomachs. But it's because we grew up in the jungle or in the high plains or in the deserts of the world. And if you didn't have genes to store fat, you died. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so people are really good at converting calories. And yeah, they give you corn syrup that fries different organs. The vaccines have been tied to obesity, all of this. But instead of trying to help these people, they set precedents. But the thing is, people say, oh yeah, tax that fat person with a carbon tax. No. They're setting the precedent, just like Nazi Germany with the Jews or whatever, with a minority that they can persecute first. Just like CPS for 4 or 5 years that I know of has been taking people's kids from Texas to California to Arkansas to Illinois. If their fat index, and there's skinny people that are over the fat index because that is set not for body types, but just at a real low level. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the new tyrannies. I wanted to, well, there I'm already covering it. And then some hypocrisy. You have this Roxanne Saberi. She's a spy. She confesses. It's somewhat of a kangaroo court system. Mm-hmm. And I heard them on Neocon Radio over the weekend and today. And
she got 8 years.
And they're saying, oh, my God, this is not a real court system. The tyranny. We need to invade Iran. You can't just, what type of barbarous people are they with kangaroo courts? And I'm thinking, this is the government that says citizens can be grabbed secretly and held and tortured and that's admissible in court. And then there's
Military Commissions Act, and then the CIA torture memos come out saying that if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is even really in custody, because they must have killed and captured him 5 or 6 times before the last time.
It's more than a dozen.
Yeah. They say 183 times in a 3-month period the man was waterboarded. So we're supposed to take that. That's not torture.
That's a couple times a day.
I get 3 times a day minimum. Minimum. I mean, that's every day.
And then, of course, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed comes out and says, I bombed buildings that didn't exist till 4 years after he was in custody.
Exactly.
And then, of course, after year, that's like people 7 years of torture. And then now they admit they take their kids and put a box of spiders on them.
Yeah.
Or things that scare the kids.
You know what? Someone called into me.
Jesus, that's loving.
I wish I had the headline.
What's wrong with, in 1984, O'Brien torturing Winston has the rabid rat behind the cage. That's what good guys do, Jason.
This guy called in and said that a bunch of Oregon troops were in Iraq and went into one of these facilities and saw women and children being tortured, stopped it, let the people go, and then were reprimanded. He gave me the headline. And I totally, he called in a couple of times, but I mean,
I remember that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So troops come in, they see, oh my God, we're torturing women and children. This isn't right. We're the good guys. We're going to be backed up.
Jack Bauer does that on TV. He's the hero.
Yeah, not the hero, Alex. Torturing women and children for intelligence.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer grabbed kids and did it. What's wrong? Jeffrey Dahmer was fighting for America. Bermas, why do you hate America?
I must hate America. I'm against Jeffrey Dahmer and his tactics.
He was grabbing little kids off the street and injecting pool cleaning acid to try to make sex zombies.
Yeah, bleach.
I mean, what's wrong with you know what, man? You're sick.
I must be. And then the public thinks that they've seen all the pictures and video, and just the pictures that they released in the foreign press are 10 times more horrific than the guy with the hood on his head with the electrodes.
They knew that had come out, so they had to release the low-level stuff to condition it, to try to whitewash show. So that's going on. What do you want to get into first? Because I want to get through this and let you get back to calls.
Well, we got about 90 seconds, but I think this...
Well, then give me that drill thing up in Alaska. Now, I know they do this. In Tennessee, we got the calls, and then it was in the news that the Army was running illegal checkpoints. The governor said, you can't do it. And then the news came up the next week. The Army said, you know what, Governor? Go to hell. We rule. And that was in the news, and it said the highways were backed up and photos of the troops searching. This guy says, hey, Jason, we'll read it when we come back. He needs to call in first. If he's out there listening, I have no doubt this isn't going on because they're doing lockdown drills everywhere.
Yeah, and then... You just talked about, these drills, and the FEMA drill right here is going to be an international spying drill on everybody. And I'm thinking they're going to go door to door as well. This is going to be with private sector. So I assume the AT&T...
InfraGard, they're going to have InfraGard, they're going to have clarity response teams.
It's everybody. It said tribal in there, Alex. They're covering every base, not only from federal and local government.
This is total federalization. This is... Look, what was Operation Valkyrie that they made the Tom Cruise movie about? True story. That was the Hitlerian plan of controlling local governments for martial law. They reversed it to use the martial law grid to try to overthrow Hitler, and it didn't work. Now, I know to some people, Hitler was good, Jeffrey Dahmer's good. We tend to think they're bad, and I know that upsets a lot of people, that thinking that torturing and raping children is a good thing, but we are against that here, and I understand we're extremists. The ADL will probably say we're bad, but we'll be right back. The good old folks at New Silver Solution, and the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at INFOWARRIOR.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Bermas, you're a goofball.
We are back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, and we are talking NLE 09 with Alex Jones right now. Now, again, this drill is going to take place on July 27th through the 31st in the United States, Australia, Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom. It's going to have international intelligence organizations involved, the private sector, federal, regional, state, tribal, and local participants, and they'll be having makeshift FEMA camps here as well to stop the terrorists.
Yeah, it's all right there, and Kurt Nemo's done a story up on InfoWars.com titled NLE 09. FEMA takes preparations for martial law to the next level, and they just admit the whole thing right here. And see, notice Glenn Beck in his debunking. We kind of overemphasize the documentation instead of what's hidden in plain view. We're going, look, there's the State Department memorandum, and there's this document over here, and there's these congressional hearings, and here's the New York Times and Washington Post with the federal purchase orders and bidding to build the camps. Look, here's Newsmax reporting it. Instead of going, look at what Beck really says, he says, of course there's the good camps, but they claim there's bad camps. Then they go show one straw man camp that I literally predicted. But what they don't point out, and what I haven't pointed out, is that top off 1, top off 2, top off 3, top off 4, top off 5, going back from 2000 right through to today, and they say this is a top off drill. They're just renaming it Tier 1 National Level Exercise, NLE, National Level Exercise 2009, FEMA. But they say this is right here in the second paragraph, Top Officials Exercise Series, or Top Off. And in the top offs I've seen in the Denver Post and all over, it says they practice during emergencies, locking down the city and putting people in the sports stadium.
Yeah.
The sports stadiums are where they interrogate you in hours they put up the barbed wire inside. They admit this. It's like in the movie The Siege.
Yeah.
And
well, right here, they tell you they're going to do it. Right here, they say NLE 09 will be an operations-based exercise to include activities taking place at command posts. So these will be makeshift command posts as well as other places. Emergency operations centers, intelligence centers, and potential field locations to include federal headquarters facilities in D.C.
Yeah, this is Northcom doing war games, and when you actually go to the war games, it's how to suppress the American people, how to confiscate our guns. But then for the media, they'll show some showers and some trucks spraying water on people that have been hit by chemical weapons. But then 99% of the exercise is taking over counties, cities, legislatures, confiscating guns. I mean, I've been to these.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that they're going to do a lot like in your police state movies, door-to-door gun checks. I could see that.
Oh, they're now all over the country. It's what the Army's here. Ma'am, do you mind if we do a mock gun confiscation? I mean, you know.
Yeah, we want to see
freedom. I mean, haven't you read the different FEMA reports coming out? The #1 threats, American gun owners. See, that's the thing. They're telling you this is for Al-Qaeda.